Good day, everyone. Today's article is Effect of Voxel Size on Cone Beam Computed Tomography Based Assessment of Root Canal Anatomy, a Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis. It was done by International Collaborative Group from Denmark, Germany, and USA, and published in the International Endodontic Journal in January 2026. Study objectives are to systematically review the literature on how CBCT voxel size affects the diagnostic outcome of root canal anatomy assessment in human teeth, to perform a meta-analysis of studies reporting diagnostic accuracy at different voxel sizes, with subgroup analysis at clinically chosen cutoff of less or more than 125 micrometers, and to explore via meta-regression whether voxel size is a significant moderator of diagnostic accuracy. Databases included were PubMed, Web of Science, Embase, and Scopus, searched on 27th of May 2025 with no date or language limits. Any studies that included animals, artificial deciduous teeth, studies not assessing root canal anatomy, studies focused only on non-anatomical endodontic findings, single voxel size studies, case reports series, and studies lacking a proper reference standard or diagnostic outcome measures were excluded. The initial search included 1,150 records, and they ended up with 15 included studies only. All 15 used ex vivo human extracted teeth, no in vivo clinical studies. Per study, tooth sample sizes ranged from 2 to 106 teeth depending on the experiment. And for the quantitative meta-analysis, 7 studies providing accuracy values on both sides of the 125 micrometers cutoff contributed 28 data points. Across included primary studies, the key variable extracted were CBCT voxel size, CBCT device and acquisition protocol, presence of confounders, and anatomical task. And the dependent variables were diagnostic metrics, sensitivity, specificity, accuracy, positive and negative predictive values. And in the meta-analysis, the primary outcome was diagnostic accuracy measured in percentage at each voxel size. In general, a smaller voxel improved visualization and diagnostic performance, particularly for larger features such as MB2 canals and C-shaped canals, and for detecting double canals and mandibular incisors, and for verifying structures as apical deltas, secondary accessory canals. Improvements with decreasing voxel size were modest and tended to plateau, suggesting a technical limit unrelated to voxel size alone. And for some complex configurations as Vertucci classification mandibular molars, smaller voxel sizes did not consistently improve classification accuracy across devices. The overall pooled diagnostic accuracy, 28 data points from 7 studies, was 80% accuracy, and heterogeneity substantial was 86.74%. For the subgroup by voxel size, larger than 125 micrometer, pooled accuracy was 75% and heterogeneity substantial was 85.04%. Less than 125 micrometer, pooled accuracy was 85% and the heterogeneity substantial was 81.68%. Difference between subgroups statistically significant, indicating better performance in the less than 125 micrometer group. On all data points combined, voxel size shows significant negative association with diagnostic accuracy, meaning smaller voxels were associated with higher accuracy. Within each subgroup, this association was no longer significant, suggesting most of the gradient in cross not within those broad categories. In conclusion, there is an association between decreasing voxel size and improved diagnostic outcome of CBCT for root canal anatomy, with pulled accuracy higher at less than 125 micrometers. However, due to the substantial heterogeneity, the complex interplay of device and protocol related parameters, and the absence of clinical in vivo data, these findings must be interpreted cautiously. Voxel sizes below about 125 micrometers may confer incremental diagnostic benefits, but these gains appears modest for many tasks and must be balanced against increased radiation and dose. The study has a lot of limitations as wide variation in CBCT devices, as mentioned before, acquisition protocols, anatomical targets, and presence of confounders, all influencing image quality independent of voxel size. And the substantial statistical heterogeneity in all pooled analysis was more than 75%, makes pooled accuracy estimates imprecise and limits generalizability. Most included studies had high risk of bias, especially patient selection, as they did not randomly select the sample and they had no controls, and index test since they had single observer and complete diagnostic reporting, and reference standards varied and some were suboptimal or poorly described. All studies were ex vivo and non evaluated clinical scenarios, clinical decision making, or patient outcomes, and only two studies used 75 micrometer voxel size despite increasing its clinical availability. So, evidence for the very smallest voxels is spare, and asymmetrical funnel plots and significant eager tests suggest that studies with favorable results may be preferentially published, further limiting the reliability of pooled effect estimates. And thank you.